My first ride. You probably know by now, it was a VW convertible that was British racing green with a black top and chrome wheels. In episode 27, I talked about my first Mustang, a 1979 coupe. Well, today I'm going to talk about what I would like to have as my next Mustang. Hello, I'm your host, Gary Neidert. Thanks for listening to and watching my First Ride podcast. This podcast is about nostalgia, automotive nostalgia. You know, reliving the events, sights, smells, and emotions of special memories connected to our favorite rides. Said another way, it's about allowing our memories to travel back in time and experience our special car moments all over again. Now, as I said in the introduction, my first car was a 1964 VW convertible. That car was a lot of fun to drive, and I have a lot of great memories of it. But also, there was my first Mustang, a 1979 Mustang coupe. It was a light powder blue, I call it baby blue, and it had one of those black bras on the front of it, and I couldn't take it off because it had scratched up everything. But anyway, I'm at a point where I would like to have another Mustang, and I would like to have a Mustang GT California Special. I may or may not be able to find one, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So today, I want to talk about the Mustang GT California Special. So let's get right on into, we'll start off a little bit of history about the Mustang, that particular body style in the production of it, all that kind of thing. But so the Ford Mustang, as we all know, it's an iconic symbol of American automotive muscle and performance. You know, it's been thrilling enthusiasts for over 5 decades. Now, the 5th generation, it was known as the S197, and it was introduced in 2005 and then produced through 2014. The S197 Mustang combined modern design, powerful engines, and a rich history to create a remarkable chapter in Mustang's storied legacy. Now, the S197 Mustang marked a departure from its predecessor, the New Edge SN95. The S197 Mustang marked a departure from its predecessor, with the New Edge SN95. Now, the 197 had a more retro-inspired design that it harkened back to the classic Mustangs of the 1960s. The design philosophy that they put into place at this time, it embraced elements like a long hood, a short rear deck, and classic 3-bar taillights, ensuring that the S197 would turn heads wherever it roamed. The S197 Mustang was a performance powerhouse. Well, I wouldn't say a powerhouse, but it had a lot more power than previous Mustangs, with a range of engines that catered to a variety of enthusiasts. At the entry level, there was the base V6 engine that produced a respectable 210 horsepower, which that was more horsepower than some of the Corvettes of the mid 70s after all the smog control went into place, and the SN97 Mustang, which I think it had 140 horsepower. So the V6 outpowered the earlier Mustangs. But anyway, that also the GT model for the S197, it stepped up its game with a 4.6-liter V8 pumping out 300 horsepower, which is pretty respectable. These engines offered a blend of power and efficiency that made the S197 a practical choice for daily driving or spirited weekend outings. For those who seek even more adrenaline, there was the Shelby GT 500, and it was the crown jewel of the S197 lineup. Its supercharged 5.4-liter V8 engine generated a whopping 500 plus horsepower, making it one of the most powerful production Mustangs of its time. This tire-shredding beast could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just over 4 seconds, delivering a thrilling driving experience that left competitors in the dust. The S197 Mustang brought a significant leap in technology compared to its predecessors. It featured cool options like satellite radio, touchscreen infotainment systems, and advanced navigation. These modern conveniences made the S197 not only a high-performance sports car, but also a comfortable daily driver. Ford's commitment to safety was evident with the inclusion of features like advanced airbags, anti-lock brakes, and stability control. The S197 Mustang was instrumental in revitalizing the Mustang brand and appealing to a new generation of enthusiasts. Its retro-inspired design struck a chord with those who appreciated the Mustang's heritage, and its modern performance and handling capabilities ensured it could compete with contemporary sports cars from around the world, maybe with the exception of Ferraris. One of the highlights of the S197 era was the introduction of very special edition and limited run models that catered to enthusiasts seeking something more unique and a high performance. Notable examples include the Shelby GT. Now, this model was tuned by the legendary Carroll Shelby, and it was a step above the standard GT. It featured various performance enhancements, distinctive styling cues, and handling upgrades that made it a favorite among collectors and driving enthusiasts alike. Then there was the Bullet. It paid homage to the iconic Mustang GT driven by Steve McQueen in the movie Bullet. And this limited edition Mustang featured a dark green exterior, unique wheels, and performance enhancements that captured the essence of the movie car. If I remember right, I think it had exhaust cutouts, electronic exhaust cutouts on it. And that was kind of cool. And then we come to the California Special. This is the one I'm looking for. We'll see if we can find one in the budget that I have, but I think it would be cool to have one. The California Special package, available on all GT models, it includes unique exterior styling elements, special badging, and a distinct grille, and offering a touch of California-inspired flair to the Mustang. And one of the things that caught my attention was the difference in the seats. There was the insert of the seats was a different color leather, which I thought that was pretty cool. But today, I want to focus mostly on the California Special. Now, it first appeared in 1968 when Ford introduced a limited edition Mustang exclusive to the Golden State, in other words, California. thus the name California Special. You can get it. This model was born out of a collaboration between Ford and Shelby American, taking design cues from the Shelby GT models and blending them with the Mustang's classic styling. This reincarnation paid homage, I got it right, homage, to its iconic predecessor, while incorporating modern design and performance elements that captured the spirit of California cruising. Now, what sets the Mustang GT California Special apart is its distinctive styling. Key design features of this special edition include unique front fascia. The California Special sports an aggressive front fascia with a black billet-style grille, and it was reminiscent of the classic Shelby models. The grille's flanked by a pair of prominent lower air scoops, giving the car a more aggressive and aerodynamic appearance. There were some side stripes that I think it ran from the, I don't know if it ran from the back, running from the rear fender to the door, or from the front fender to past the door. But it was good. It was some side stripes with GT/CS lettering that emphasized the car's exclusivity and added a touch of nostalgia. And that's what we're all about, the nostalgia thing. The rear spoiler had a rear deck lid spoiler that provided both form and function, enhancing aerodynamics and giving the California Special a distinct look. Then there were the unique wheels. The California Special features its own set of distinctive wheels, often featuring a polished aluminum or chrome finish, adding to the visual appeal. And then there was the custom badging. Special GT/CS badging on the exterior and the interior further distinguishes this model from standard Mustangs. But under the hood, the Mustang GT California Special features a potent 4.6-liter V8 engine which produces around 300 horsepower and delivers the signature V8 rumble that Mustang enthusiasts cherish. That would be me. I like the V8 sound. The combination of power, handling, and styling elements creates an exhilarating driving experience that's ideal for both daily commutes and weekend cruises. Now, inside, the California Special offers a premium cabin with leather seats, unique stitching, and custom trim elements. Modern amenities like a premium audio system, advanced infotainment, and climate control ensure a comfortable and enjoyable, and sometimes spirited ride. The Mustang GT California Special is a testament to Ford's commitment to preserving the Mustang's rich heritage while pushing the boundaries of design and performance. It captures the essence of California's sun-soaked roads where style and power converge in perfect harmony. Whether you're a collector or an enthusiast, the California Special remains a symbol of American automotive excellence and a thrilling tribute to the Golden State. So, that's the California Special. And I would like to have one. In 2022, I was looking through Craigslist and I found a white California Special convertible. And from the pictures, it looked like it was the perfect car. Didn't have any dents or dings or anything like that. The interior looked good. I called the guy and he said, well, somebody called me about the car. He's from Missouri, and if I don't sell it between now and Thursday, the guy's going to come down and pick the car up. Well, I hesitated. I waited and called Thursday morning to see if the guy still had the car. And he didn't call me back. I called him that afternoon again, and he answered the phone and said, "Man, I'm sorry, but I sold the car. The guy from Missouri is on his way to pick it up." And he had to stay true to his word, sold it to the guy. So I missed out. But what's even worse, 2 days later, there was another California special that was listed in Craigslist that was about the same price, the same year. It was a red one, and it was a convertible. I called him that one as soon as I saw it, and the guy says, "Man, I'm sorry, but I just sold it this morning." So I missed out on those two California specials, and they fit the budget. But I just was hesitant to pull the trigger. Yeah, the lesson I learned in that, if I find one, pull the trigger and do it. So I'm still looking. And I may not find a California special, but I'm still looking. I want to have a Mustang GT, preferably a California special. So if you happen to know of anybody that is wanting to sell one that's in decent shape and not high mileage, let me know. I'd like to talk to them if they're willing to sell it. So please do that. Now, for the podcast, I'm looking for people that would enjoy telling the stories of their first rides and how their lives were influenced by them. And I bet you probably know someone that would be a great guest for my First Ride podcast, right? Let me know a little bit about them and their story. What about telling your story on the podcast? Let me know a little bit about you and your first ride. Check us out and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, and more. You can also go to My First Ride Podcast on YouTube. And when you do, tag, share, and subscribe. And of course, you can also go to my website at myfirstridepodcast.com. One final thought. You may not have your first ride, but you still have the memories. It's time to share them. Contact me if you have any questions regarding today's podcast, or if you'd like to be a guest on My First Ride Podcast. Send me an email to myfirstridepodcast@gmail.com. I'm Gary Neidert, and you've just experienced My First Ride Podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.